Good morning, student. Once again, with new day, new energy, and full zeal to study UPSC. As we all know, today's topic is, as in on your screen, Vice President. Why we have taken this topic? The reason is this: from morning onwards, on the Lok Sabha parliamentary premises, the election for the Vice President is undergoing. So we are discussing quality topic Vice President. Before starting the topic, I would want to discuss about what exactly Vice President office, why exactly the Vice President office is there, and the mandate of the Vice President. Then we will discuss about the thing is Mission Karma Yogi. Okay, today is our governance and polity. So two important current affairs topics are governor. This is Vice President and Mission Karma Yogi. Okay, so we are going to discuss these two topics. As you can see, this is image. You can see. Okay, so first of all, Vice President. Now tell me, this is of our GS2 syllabus, constitutional provisions related to executives. Executive Vice President comes under executive also, and the special, the unique bridge between executive and legislature. Why executive and legislature? Vice President of India act as a same time ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha also, and acting president also sometimes, as in case of 1969. Okay, so we will begin with what exactly office of Vice President. Office of Vice President is second highest office in India's constitutional system. Okay, the if Vice President is a second, then what is the first? The first is President. Okay, and as I mentioned, the syllabus related to GS2, polity, constitutional, executive. Okay, working and functioning and envisaged role of the executive. So Vice President comes under both executive and legislature. Then this heading. So what is exactly the news? As I initially mentioned, on this today only there is election. Voting is undergoing for the Vice President of India in the Parliament House. Okay, so that's why we are discussing the topic Vice President. Now we will come to our next origin of the office of the Vice President. Okay, what exactly the origin? Okay, constitutional provisions is there. Article Article 360 explicitly mentioned that there shall be the Vice President of India. Okay, so Article 63 to 71, there is constitutional provision for the office of Vice President of India. Okay, so this is the first constitutional mandate, and as I said, that dual role, executive also and legislature also. And if some executive in the domain as acting Vice President and ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So it is like he is as a acting bridge between the two organs of the state. Okay, the now we will move for the next, from where we have taken this office. Okay, the President Sarvapalli Radhakrishna. Now this is the second thing, comparison. We have taken this office from taken from the on the line of USA Vice President, but there is a difference between the US Vice President office and India's Vice President office. So we are going to discuss now what are these differences. Okay, so the first is election related differences. And before that, I want to just mention the point that why, see, this year UPSC asked the question on the appointment procedure of judges in USA and India, comparative approach, 50 marker question in 2025 mains. That's why I have taken specifically the comparative approach, because in our GS syllabus there is one main point, that is the comparison of Indian constitutional system with the major constitutional system of world. So this is point is important for in that perspective. Okay, the elections, indirectly elected through the electoral college both, and see, this is a single transferable vote system. Single transferable vote system means the you vote for, you give the preference, proportional representation, you give the preference and then you can vote. When we will discuss the exact process, that time I will briefly, I will in depth explain all the election. But compared to the vice president of USA, you can see along with the president. And recently last year only in 2024, if you have seen the news that the vice president Vance, JD Vance was colleague mate of the Donald Trump. Okay, so in our case, vice president is independent office from the president office, but in USA there is so-called colleague mate. Okay, so this is thing. Next one, eligibility. A Rajya Sabha member, it should be a naturally born citizen of India with 35 years of years. Means this is the age 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 criteria. See, this qualify must be a naturally born citizen of USA. Our constitution is this much accommodative. Any citizen of India, either is naturally born or acquired. See, there is difference between naturally born citizen and acquired. Anyone can acquire the citizen. So in India's case, anyone can contest the vice president of India office, and but he or she should be the citizen of India. But in USA, the those who want to contest the vice president election, they should be naturally born citizen of India. That means no acquired citizen of India, no acquired citizen of USA. So this is eligibility role. Ex officio chairman, as I have discussed the ex officio, and here also this is the similarity between the even the vice president of the USA also act as a Senate chairman. Okay. Now next is executive. There is no direct as such, no direct power, no direct power in only act in the absence of death. But in the USA, this is very crucial. That's why if you see recently, most of the decisions of Donald Trump has been taken by the vice president of USA. Even the vice president of USA was the official visit of India post his election, post his electoral win. Okay, so he's a very major role, critical role in US politics and US executive branch. But in our case, generally, Vice President of India's office is seculated from the so hefty politics and kept as above the politics. Okay, similarly on the lines of President. This is the very feature of India's constitution. Okay, now come to the succession, and this is very important point. Succession, that means once the vacancy will happen, it should be fulfilled within the 6 months. And the any means in the sense that if a president is died in India, the next president should be elected within the 6 months. But in USA, if president is died and the remaining, if he dies, the in USA the president term is 4 years. And if president is died in between and 2 years period is remain, in USA what happened, vice president continue for remaining 2 years. Okay, so this is in USA, succession is there, continuity is there. But in India, vice president can be president of India for max to max 6 months. Okay, so this is a succession. Now come to next thing, that is presidency month until the new president. Okay, removal can be removed by the Rajya Sabha resolution with the Lok Sabha concurrence. As you know, the recently our vice president of India has resigned, but there is one formal procedure to remove the vice president from his post. That is a special majority in the Rajya Sabha with the simple majority in the Lok Sabha. Okay, this is in the case of India. But in the USA, can be removed by impeachment along with the president. The procedure is same for the president and vice president. In the USA, impeachment. But in our case, for the president, it is impeachment. But for the, and might be if you aware about what is removal, difference between the removal, okay, and impeachment. See, in presidential case, we mention the term impeachment, but in the vice president judge's case, we mention the removal. The logic behind is this: President is the highest first citizen of India, so no one can remove him or her. Okay, but in the case of other offices, all other offices, executive or the judicial or any legislature, they are below the president. So president has power to remove them, but no one can remove the president. President can be impeached by the procedure. So this is the difference between removal and impeachment, and we use specifically removal for the all other judges except all other offices except the president. We use president's impeachment. This is a minor difference, but this plays very crucial role. Okay, so this is removal procedure. Now tenure in India, 5 years can be re-elected any number. Our first Vice President of India, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, he was twice a Vice President of India. Even the Hamid Ansari, he was twice Vice President of India. But in USA, the term is 4 years and can serve two term max to max. Actually, in India, President and Vice President can be elected for any number of time. But in USA, this is not the case. In USA, what happens? In USA, there are around 4 years term and max to max two terms. That's it. Because USA is presidential system and US president enjoys lot of power. Even US vice president also enjoys a lot of power in the Senate and the decision making in the executive branch. So there is a limitation, and this happened in the post 25th constitutional amendment in the USA. Okay, so now if you see visibility, this is the one point I just want to. Ceremonial है limited outside the scope of parliament, Radhakrishna Hamid. But in USA, highly political, often considered for the future prime ministerial candidate. For example, Joe Biden. Biden was the vice president during the Obama time. Similar the case with Kamala Harris, 2020 to 2024, and Kamala Harris ran for the 2024 presidential election. So in USA, political visibility is more for the vice president, but in India, it is separated and it is isolated from the political heat. Okay, and this is just salary. There is no need to mention the salary and everything. Now, office originated. We took the US office from the USA because this vice president post we cannot see in the any parliamentary system. If you see the example of the Israel, UK, there is no kind of vice president office, but we have the our constitution is very, I would say, a revolutionary document, and that revolutionary document adopted the vice president post from the USA. So we did analysis, comparative analysis of the how our vice president is different from the USA vice president. Now we will come to the what exactly constitution talks about vice president of India. So first is Article 63, which talks about there shall be the vice president of India. Okay, so first now we will come to the qualification. What will be the as I have mentioned, 35 years, not holding the office of profit, and eligible for the Rajya Sabha membership. Okay, then the electoral college. See, in India, generally VP and the electoral college for these both are different. Okay, in this case, all the MPs of RS plus LS, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, all the members. That includes elected members, nominated members. But in case of the president, this is not the case. Elected members of RS, LS and elected members of state legislative assembly and state legislative council is not there. You have to remember this. Okay, but this is not precedented in the, this is not the part of electoral college in case of the vice president. Okay, but in for the vice president, all the elected and nominated members of the parliament consists of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so at present there are around 543 of the Lok Sabha and 238 of the Rajya Sabha. But currently there are I think 233 members are there. So this is the electoral college for the vice president of India, and this is the electoral college for the president of India. Okay, so this is electoral college mentioned under Article 63. See, constitution, our constitution provide the, consider this building as a constitution, and in constitution just provide the broader dynamic. Okay, broader dimension. But in case how to execute that thing, You can relate with the, so what our constitution has, means our parliament has done, president and vice president act 1952. Even the terms, exactly the procedure, means broader framework has given by the constitution, and exact implementation conduct of that, how to do the minor details is given by this act. Similarly, if you should find the judges inquiry act of 1969, okay, 67 I think. Okay, this is the, why I want to be, because constitution provided the broader framework, and rest of the things, the minor details will be provided by through the parliament act. So this is similar the case with judges inquiry act 1967. Okay, so this is thing. So this is that oath and affirmations at article 69 talks. Why I am talking about this particular the article, what happened generally, we tend to forget the article, and UPSC is more focusing on the article nowadays. If you see 2024 paper, there was a question article talking about article 109, which provide the special procedure for the money bill, and most of the student mark that incorrect, because we know that article 110 talks about the money bill. That's why I'm specifically talking about the article exactly the given. Okay, removal procedure we have discussed, and election dispute. Any dispute of, first of all, who conduct the election? For the president, vice president, election commission of India. Okay, now if any issue arises, any question arises, what exactly the election means vice president, then anyone can challenge this judgment, means particularly the election, to Supreme Court of India, not the High Court, under the election petition within the 30 days of the result. Okay, and most important, these are the article which means the ex officio chairman of the Rajasthan cannot be hold both offices simultaneously. This means that this want to protect the separation of power. Okay, if a vice president acting as a president, he simultaneously cannot be a ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so this is okay. Now we will start with the exact process. Why we are studying exact was conducted by ECI. Exact process notification ECI. Why we are going? If you see 2023 prelims question of presidential election, okay, presidential elect, they have asked the comparison of MP, MLA members. So on that line, I thought that we should take what exactly the notification published by the Election Commission of India, then filing of nomination. In nomination, you always remember the candidate must submit the nomination under Form 3. Okay, this is given in the President and Vice President Act 1952. Then security, and this is also very important, because what this shows that anyone can file, any citizen of India. But if that is the case, then there will be many candidates, and the election process is exactly the proportional representation, single transferable vote system. Okay, we will discuss this within short while. So to avoid these too many candidates, what exactly the procedure? There should be the 20 members of the parliament. They should propose you, and the 20 members will be secondary. That means overall 40 members will support your candidature. Okay, if they are supporting, then you can be a candidate for the vice president of India. Done. Now next, this is scrutiny of nomination. Scrutiny of nomination done by the election commission. There, see, now today's election, there are only two candidates, major party, UPA, NDA. Okay, so scrutiny is done by withdrawal. A candidate have the discretion. He or she can withdraw his nomination if he found anything. Even though during scrutiny also, some candidature can be rejected. Okay, now exactly can be withdrawn within the prescribed deadline. Voting procedure, this is very very crucial, and this is very important for the prelims. What exactly? Secret ballot. Okay, secret ballot. Then held at a Parliament House, New Delhi. Electoral consists all the MPs. Earlier only I have explained this. All the MPs, including nominated member, proportional representation by single transferable odd marking the preference 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I will explain the proportional representation and the single transfer. What happened? Consider there are two candidates. Okay, and total members are 238. So if any candidate, this I'm just talking about the Rajya Sabha members, we will consider the Lok Sabha also. Consider it as a 1000 members. Okay, 530. The overall it will come. We will directly will do the this calculation only. Okay, done. 5, 8, then 7. Okay, these are the number. Consider the round figure. This one. If you want to be a vice president of India, you should get vote 50% plus 1. That means in this case, if you want to get vote for particular thing, you should get how much? In simple, what they used to do, this is a 50% of this. Okay, this should be your minimum vote. You should get this much. That means half. This is just broader I'm talking, but the idea is this: you should get 50. But in first round, if you don't get, what is rounds, you have to mention the preference for NDA candidate, then the second preference for the UPA, then third you can mention the once again the UPA, NDA, any third candidate you can see DPD. Okay, so if this candidate get this number, he will be the, in first round, what election commission will do, count the vote. If he get this number, he will be the vice president of India, because he is enjoying the majority of the both the member houses. Okay, then if in first round no one out of these three candidates, no one gets 50%, that is this number, then what will happen, the second round will start, and in second round what will happen, the minimum candidate, this, if he has got the very less vote, this vote will be transferable to the first one, and then the second round will start. This process will continue until someone get 50% of the vote of any candidate. Okay, means anyone get the 50% of. Why this is the process? This is called as proportional representation, single transferable. Your vote is transfer, single vote, in one you give the preference, then that vote automatically transferred to the other members. Okay, this process, but in generally this is a given by the constitutional provisions. But practically what happens, there are only two candidates, two major blocks in Indian politics at right now, UPA and NDA, and there are only two major candidates, and we know who will win the election, but this is the constitutional provisions. What matters is not the winning the election, but the fighting the battle. Okay, so this is the thing, and because of this one only, the post is very high, the nominal and the reputation of this post is very high. So many politicians try to get this per. So this is the voting secret ballot. Why? Because in this, maybe chances of cross, and the members have freedom to vote according to their preferences. Okay, so this is exactly the voting procedure for the our vice president. Now counting, and same day there is counting, it will happen total quota, how this process I have explained you, the additional, the next preference candidate eliminated, and declaration of the result. Today by 5 a.m. you will get the result, and you will get the new president. We know the those who have higher votes numbers in the both the houses, that candidate will win. That is not our part, but the what exactly the exact procedure, and UPSC will focus maybe in 2026 on the like, what is the procedure for, then they will ask the statement based question, what exactly the procedure for the vice president of India, or in mains the comparative approach. Now we will talk about the mains part, that is this thing. Till now we have discussed about what exactly the procedure, exact procedure, constitutional provision, that is limited to our prelims. That will help to introduce your body. But what exactly this is Vice President of India role, important issues and way forward. Okay, because this is our real analysis part. this is your skill. You have to show this skill in your answer writing also and in your notes also. You should make note. Okay. So role. What exactly the role? Ex officio chairman of sorry ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. An example. Why I am providing particularly the example? Actually, when I was writing mains and the recent mains only, I found that you are mentioning the ex officio chairman, vice president is ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Justify it. That is mentioned. Either you can mention the article. The best way to give justify with example. Similarly, suspended the AAP MP Sanjay Singh for repetitive disruption. So this shows his power. This is a very classical. In 2023, he explained the member. So example, to justify any point, you should put some data. You should show some data. You should give some example, or you should give some scholars reference, or else we as aspirant, they are no one. Their claims no one will respect it. Actually, the Supreme Court, even the Parliament debates consider the record. But we as a common citizen, no one will respect our words. To justify our words, we need example. So this is example what his powers. This is just one power, but he can do many as a just chairman. I would say he have many powers. First is regulation of the house, decorum maintaining, chairman of committee selection. Might be you know the departmental related standing committees. 8 committee comes under the Rajya Sabha, and all the chairmen appointed. DRC's 8 committee chairmen are appointed by the chairman only. Okay, Rajya Sabha means ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, that is vice president. So these are the this is just one dimension, suspension and the exactly. But you have to remember this: vice president is not a member of Rajya Sabha. So according to Article 88, he cannot vote in Rajya Sabha. He cannot vote in Rajya Sabha at the first instance, but he has the power of casting vote. Okay, casting vote to resolve the deadlock. You have to remember, if you are elected member or you are the member, then only you will get the right to vote. But in this case, this is a special privilege is given to the office head chairman of the Rajya Sabha. That is, initially he cannot vote in the first phase, but he can vote to resolve the deadlock. Okay, you have to remember this. Then acting president, this 1969, we have mentioned the rule, important role, continuation, the neutral Radha Radhakrishnan. Just few days back only, 3 4 days back only, we have celebrated the our Teachers Day. The Teacher Day is the birth anniversary of this our Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Okay, first VP. Moderating. The next one is custodian of the parliamentary conventions. This is examples I have taken from how the Biren Singh, the former Vice President of India, prevented the misuse of the question hour by insisting on the discipline. Okay, these are the examples you can take, and I am providing these notes below the lecture. Below this lecture's link, you can download this note. But I just want to say that use this example. You should remember that who are the, what are there. Okay, president is there. He act as a president, but when vice president can act as a president. But do you know any incident? If you mention the incident case 1966 1969, that will add and that will boost your marks at least 0.5%. If marks increase, that is very good marks. I would say you will get that 0.5 0.5 drop by drop we can collect the, and we can get the rank. Okay, one mark matters in the mains. Okay, this is one more example, bridge between the state. See how this example is awesome. Bridge between the central and state. We have seen there is many federal dispute in the financial domain, in economic domain, in financial domain, in administrative domain. You can say example in the legislative domain. But how the vice president of India can act as a bridge between the federal vehicle of the federalism. So through this, even our governors can take a reference of this example. We vice president of Krishna Kant actively engage state on the river dispute between the Krishna Godavari river dispute. Okay, during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee term. Can you imagine during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee's prime ministership? So this is uniqueness of your answer. If you mention in your answer, this will help you a lot. Okay, so this is federal vehicle. Now these are the role of role of the vice president of India, as a president, acting as a president, acting as a chairman of the Rajya Sabha, acting as a federal vehicle. So these are the roles of vice president. Now, importance of this office. What is the importance of this office? We have the roles, and what are the important role and importance are more or less same, but importance you should mention, so it will be give uniqueness to your answer. So what are these importance? Ensure the continuity in governance. BD Jatti acted as a president after the Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad death. Continuation of the policy. There should be someone to take care of the if president happen. And this is the example. 1977. Okay. Similarly, strengthen the parliamentary democracy. Hamid Ansari allowed the extended debate on the Lokpal bill, ensuring the consensus. So this is role in Rajya Sabha. But how classical? Parliamentary democracy, strengthening the parliamentary. Use this lucid and attractive words in your answers. Okay. The next one, upholding the federal balance, has defended the Rajya Sabha's role as against the allegation of the center's overriding state. Okay. So these are the important role played by act above party politics. As I mentioned, the office of the president and vice president most of the time act above the politics. Okay. Radhakrishnan VP kept as a Rajya Sabha above the Congress party politics despite being nominated by them. This is a very good classical example. Earlier, our first generation leaders. You can quote in your GS4 paper, integrity and probity in governance. And one more point I just want to make here, that see, there is no compartmentalization of GS1, GS2, GS3, and GS4. You can use your examples of GS2 in GS4, and the similarly GS4 data you can use that dimension in your GS1, and what are the issues of GS1 you can mention in the GS3. Okay, so don't compartmentalize one study approach. This is a one word, like I personally like this one study approach. There is no separation of prelims, mains, and interview, or the prelims, mains, current affair. See, in our this article only we will get the idea. In first 2-3 slide I have explained you what exactly the article's prelims perspective, and specifically role, importance, issues, and way forward I have mentioned for the mains perspective. So in one go only, in one page, you can mention this will be your prelims notes, this will be your mains notes. Use this and make notes. Notes are prerequisite, and notes are important to write a good answer, and that too within 11 minutes and within the 7 minutes. Okay, so that's why this is a specifically I want to point out, try to make a notes and use this kind of the examples. Okay, now come to the pursuit of political. These are the issues was constitutional morality. VP Krishnakant supported the anti-corruption debate during. Okay, best example. If you see any lecture of any class or anyone, if you find such kind of example, mark my words and let me know. You will not find, because these are not molded the so-called manufactured answer. And what happens generally, student end up with manufactured answer. Okay, just a minute. Manufactured answer and original creativity. Why I am telling manufactured answer? What happens, student will learn many things from the class material, and similar material he will just paste in the mains copy and end up with the less mark. But some students, those who particularly the toppers, those who get selected, what they will do, they will create their own original things. As I have developed this, see, this kind of example you will never get in any kind of any video. If you see any other coaching institute video, you will not get this kind of example. These are my own creative, because I have written this in the paper. So I know, okay, how this year there was a question on the appointment of the Supreme Court judges and comparison between India and USA. So I have mentioned this kind of dimensions. Okay. So but now come to the, I hope you understood the manufactured answer and the original content. Now come to the issues. Though office role is there, politics envisaged role. That's why in our UPSC syllabus, GS they have mentioned the envisaged role and actual working. So now the issue arises when we actually implement this thing. So actually, you see, frequent disruption in the Rajya Sabha. Venkaya Naidu said the nation is losing. This is the 2018 when Venkaya Naidu was the vice president. Okay, now come to the pursuit of political and Supreme Court judgment. Most of the time, our uh, previous vice president of India, they used to comment on the appointment and particularly the judicial working, but there is a separation of power. So there is perceived, I'm not saying the exact, but the perceived notion that the political biasness judgment on the NJC seen as a partial, okay, limited role in the executive functioning. Okay. See, BD Jati, as acting president of India, had to sign on the cabinet's advice during the political turmoil emergency aftermath. Okay, so this is one of the example. Now, if you can say Hamid Ansari's farewell speech launching the intolerance, falling debate of quality, weakening the debate, the no clear succession of mechanism, VP Krishna Kant's sudden death led to the 2-month vacancy in the office and balancing the election. Okay, now these are the issues. Now there is certain recommendations related to the office of vice president, and use this framework of any office. Take a governor, constitutional office. I'm talking particularly attorney general, then the president, CM, PM. What you have to do, you have to just write role, constitutional mandate, actual working, issues, and way forward. Any question in politics or in polity or in any, you have to inculcate this habit. What is the issue, why this issue has arisen, what exactly the present situation, how we can resolve this issue, what are the challenges to resolve this issue, and way forward to finally settle the matter. Okay, so this is the broader approach for every office. I'm just talking about the particular the VP, but I told you about all the constitutional office and non-constitutional office. Okay, then this is the strengthening the parliamentary functioning by ensuring the decorum in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, these are the examples. You can go through these examples. Okay, regulatory the public advocacy, research, capacity building. Rajya Sabha have very good means called as a representation council of the state. So federal vehicle, Rajya Sabha we can say the federal vehicle. Then you can say strengthen neutrality in the partiality of office. Krishnakant widely respected. You have to just remember the 3-4 vice president of India and their good act, their good conduct, some pursued biasness, and mention in the answer. Because at the end of the day, what matters your justification and what you are writing the answer. What you know, what I know, that doesn't matter. No one is going to ask you except your peer group. But what UPSC will check? UPSC will check what exactly you have written in the paper. So for to written good answer, these examples are very very important. Okay, you can say the increase the international representation. Hamid Ansari represented at the Nam Summit. Okay, the conclusion. Okay, and always remember our conclusion of each or any topic, it should be the optimistic, it should be the futuristic, it should be the pragmatic, and it should be inculcate your own thoughts, make your own conclusions. Don't copy this. Like if the vice president office actively engage in the parliamentary reforms, public discourse federal dialogue, and international representation, it can evolve from being a ceremonial backup to a visible guardian of constitutional democracy. how many heavy words I have used here. So try to use this kind of heavy words in your conclusion. This shows that you not only know the example, you not only know the constitutional provisions, you have the vision for the country, and UPSC need visionary administrators, visionary leaders. Okay, so this is the constitution. Now there is a question, and what kind of questions will come in the prelims on the vice president? First one, questions, prelims questions. First one will come either the comparative approach. Comparative approach mostly they will ask with USA and India, and that too this is most chances this will ask in the mains, but prelims also they can ask the origin of the office, constitutional mandate. So any question on vice president of India will come from these three dimensions only. Mark my last 10 years, like I have seen the last 10 years paper. Any question on vice president, generally they don't ask question on the vice president, but they ask the qualification, and they sometimes they ask the schedule 3 or oath matter, but they mostly focus on the president. But vice president is in the news, and the elections is going today, only elections are going on, so chances are there they will ask the question. But definitely in mains there will be one question. There will be one question. This year there was a question of pardoning powers of the president of India and the USA, the comparison. Similarly there will be the chances that in next year UPC will ask what exactly the compare and contrast between the office of Indian vice president and office of the USA vice president. Okay, so this is the, okay, let's see. With reference to the vice president of India and the United States of America, consider the following. The Indian vice president is eligible for the re-election any number of time, while any number, remember this, any number, while the United States vice president can serve maximum 2 terms. This is statement as I have explained. You can see, is this statement is correct or incorrect? We will see the next statement, then we will answer. Unlike the United States, the Indian vice president becomes acting president for the maximum of for 6 months if the president office is vacant. Both statements are correct. And in polity, always remember that there are chances, and they will use, we have generally tendency that there will be extreme words only, any, anyhow, everyone. But in politics, try to use this word very carefully. Try to don't take extreme step ki only is mentioned, any is mentioned, so might be that statement is incorrect. No, might be chances that that statement will be correct. In polity, particularly, I am talking about the both vice presidents serve as the key political leaders with a strong visibility in the legislature. Answer is not given, but key political leaders and strong visibility in the legislature. Legislature, they are asking. Legislature, not the executive. Okay, so all three statement answer will be C. Getting? See, first, any number of time India, this is given in Article 66 only. They have mentioned the vice president serve maximum 2 terms. This is also correct. The second, in the vice president of India becomes acting president for maximum 6 months. As already I have mentioned that vice president of India can be a president for max to max 6 months only. Okay, this is a constitutional mandate. So these two statements are correct. And this statement, if you can question like serve as a key political leaders and with strong visibility in the legislature. Okay, political leadership you can question, but does this statement is saying anything a very extreme, very visible political biasness with strong visibility in the legislature? Strong visibility in the legislature. This means that both are ex officio chairmen, isn't it? They are indirectly asking ki strong visibility in the legislature. So this statement is also correct. Answer is C. Okay. Now mains question. What will be the chances that we compare? That's why I prepared role, powers, and significance of the vice president of India with that to the president of vice president of the United States of America. See this question. Compare and contrast. First, compare three dimensions. I'm telling you the how to write answer also. Role, then powers, and significance. So these are the things. Okay, compare. Here contrast. Then, so this is our overall vice president topic I have discussed, and I will show what exactly we have discussed from starting. Okay, so let's start. I will vice president and first of all GS2 in this quality, in this executive syllabus I'm talking, in which is role and actual working, and in this also apart from executive, VP, president and others. So we have studied VP. What we have studied in the vice president? Origin of the office, comparison. Then we have studied origin, comparison, constitutional mandate. Then we have studied four main dimension: role, importance, key issues, and suggestions to improve visibility of office of vice president. Okay. And finally, we have taken two, three, one mains question, one prelims question. This is for the vice president. Take these notes, write down these notes. I have provided the very good examples, and you can use these examples in your answers. But try to make sure that you are writing prelims answer and always seeing the PYQ, so you will get the thorough idea of vice president. Okay, so by the today night we will get our new vice president. Let's hope for the good result. Now we will moving towards our next governance topic, that is mission Karma Yogi. Okay, and why this is in the news? Because in the PIB, yesterday there was one news. The national space administrator are getting the training under the mission Karma Yogi. Why mission Karma Yogi? And the main concern for the mission Karma Yogi is our exactly the whole of government approach. And if you see the governance question of 2025 mains, there are more comprehensive and macro level questions. It's not like particularly they are asking particular one dimension. No, what UPSC has transformed itself in the mains, particularly they are moving towards a broader dimension. So in this we are going to discuss. See, this is the news. Launches training administrators for the under the mission Karma Yogi to promote the whole of government approach. Now, in this, we will discuss what is mission Karma Yogi, how mission Karma Yogi is promoting whole of government approach, and what are the issues in this whole of government approach enactment, and way forward suggestion to build whole of government approach. Okay, so let's start with first of all what is mission Karma Yogi, and then whole of government approach. Okay, this is the just image I have taken from the PIB. Whole of government. First, we will start what is the whole of government. Whole of government approach means the earlier what used to happen, like Ministry of Defense is working in different way, Ministry of Railway is working in the different way. Best example in my hometown, we used to take Ministry of Rural Development used to construct the road, and then the Ministry of Water and Drinking, what they used to do, they used to dig their means fully digging the road and building their own pipeline. So they were not working in the tandem, and because of that there is a wastage of money, the wastage of public exchequer money, and too much opportunity cost, and most cumbersome process for the government is for the governance, and motto of this particular government, the present government: minimum government, maximum governance. Minimum government, maximum government. So this approach originated from the good governance approach. Okay, and whole of government approach means, if I have mentioned that this is the department, if Ministry of Home Affairs want to do something in the agriculture field or in the security field, then what will happen? The Ministry of Earth Sciences will will join the hands with Ministry of Home Affairs, and they will make sure, take the help of the geospatial survey. And this has happened. If you see the PM Gati Shakti, what is PM Gati Shakti? All the ministry data, they are coming together and they are implementing the project smoothly. Similarly, if you see the Bhuvan, what is Bhuvan project? If you remember Bhuvan project, this is not only a satellite, but this Bhuvan shows the one government approach, how ISRO, how the Ministry of Earth Science and the Ministry of Planning, Ministry of Electronics and Communication come together and develop one comprehensive platform, that is Bhuvan. This shows what? Whole of government approach. Okay, the motto of this whole of government, one vision and one response. This is best example is a recent Shimla flood or recent Punjab flood. You can see army, civil defense, territorial army, Ministry of Home Affairs of the Union Government, Ministry of Police of the state government, all they combine together working to rescue the people, to help the people, because this whole of government approach motive is this one response from the state, that is either police, either army, or either civil administration, but that response should be one response, and that help to tackle the Punjab floods, the one more thing, the Shimla flood. So this is the importance of whole of government approach. And whenever you are writing answer, make sure that you are mentioning whole of government approach is the very adaptive, very flexible, to make our policy implementation smoothly and very hassle free. Okay, so now we are studied. Okay, this is just a basic. We have studied the what is the whole of government approach, and come to next, that is the mission karma yogi. How the mission karma, first of all, what is mission karma? Mission karma yogi is government of India's programming, national programming for the civil services capacity building. See this capacity may be at the developmental flow, maybe at the law and order implementation flow, the mental capacity, the capacity to motivate the people, the capacity of the civil servant. At the end of the day, civil servant are also one among them, and they are also human being. They should have positive attitude, they should have some particular kind of behavior. So how to tackle this issue? Government of India in 2020 launched the mission Karma Yogi. Mission Karma Yogi's objective is to build a capacity, not only just a physical capacity, but the mental capacity, the capacity of the emotional capacity, and the capacity to have some sympathy. So whole of government approach. So this is are the dimensions how this mission Karma Yogi and capacity building will help for the building a good governance. Okay, this is competence building capacity, the accountability, transparency, these are important. The more topics is the, see, aim, future ready civil servant. And one more point I just want to make here, that is the mission karma yogi is not only for the class 1 officers, IAS, IPS, or central services officers, but it is for the all those who, all the even SSC or new recruit, and the upskilling. And see, not only new entrant, okay, but upskilling is there. So, competencies, behavioral reforms, moving from the rule base and rule base to role base. UPSC has asked question, had asked and has asked question on this rule to rule, because sometimes what happen, civil servant apparently reject the application on the basis of rules. For example, take an example of the Lokpal. In Lokpal, around since 2019 to 2024, there are around 8,000 cases, applications filed in Lokpal. Out of that, just some technical procedural issues, 6k applications are rejected. So if civil servants are there, and they are means role models. Role, if they transform their role to just stick following the mere procedure. See, following the mere procedure doesn't help, but what helps, the substantive. Ultimately, the aim of the procedure is to benefit the citizen. That is the ultimate game, ultimate end of the government. Na? Governance is for the people. We the people of India. Our article said that we the people of India. It means that government is for the people, state is for the people, state include all three organs. So to build this one government approach, the government of India has launched, and the most responsibility in the hands of executive. So government has launched the mission Karma Yogi, and mission Karma Yogi is building the capacity to promote the whole of government approach. Okay, so now how mission Karma Yogi will promote the whole of government approach. First, role based framework, competency driven 3-digit marks. Okay, so this is breaking the silos, continuation of learning, continuous learning, upskilling, downskilling, up once again skilling, because this is the age of fourth revolution, and government should not be the of 20th century. It should be 21st century and should inculcate. And who is government? Government officers. And how we are building this government officer? Through one government approach. Who is implementing this one government approach? Through this is mission Karma Yogi. Okay, this is the link. Citizen centric. Ultimately, we the people of India come. Ultimately, we the people of India come. So this is citizen centric. DBT rollout, Aadhaar based model system, and capacity building, global collaboration. You can mention the monitoring. Now we have developed a very good structure, we have developed everything, but even though senior officers, we are the new ones, means those who will be in the service, new one, and we are going to in the service also. I hope every one of you wish to join the services as soon as possible. So there are certain officers who they don't want to inculcate this kind of habit because they are the second generations. They are from the second generation. They are millennials, 90s, 80s, and their mindset impacting the implementation of this one government approach. Apart from this individual level, there are some administrative procedure issues which is hampering this one government. Even the best example I want to means I want to tell you, the Integrated Service Act 2023. This Integrated Command Service Act of 2023 deals with Air Force, Indian Army, Indian Navy. Why I am mentioning this? This is the classical example of the one government approach in the armed forces. If you see the success of Operation Sindoor, since 2002, Operation Sindoor was the most successful operation because it shows the one government approach, and this act in integrated command service act shows that if I am from the army and my commanding officer is me, I'm working in the central integrated command center, then my head command officer will be from the navy, but I have to obey his command. That is concrete coherence approach. That is one government approach, whole of government approach, one government or whole of government, you can say. So this is one of the good example in the army, armed forces, and we know the armed forces from their discipline. That discipline comes with this thing, and this is going to become a game changer in the armed forces. Similarly, the civilian administration mission Karma Yogi. Okay, so what are the challenges? Let's start. See, administrative level challenges: political interference and frequent transfers, unstable undermining. Example: Panchkula saw the 3 deputy commissioner, 2 municipal commissioner, and 3 police commissioner transferred in 10 months. Can you imagine how this was trend? See, 3 deputy commissioners, 3 DCs, 2 MC municipal commissioners, and 3 police commissioners. Can you imagine within just period of 10 months? So, political leaders and political leadership, as our always home minister and prime minister used to say that minimum government, maximum governor. So this is a very big issue, political interference. The second one, over centralization and weak federal balance. Excessive power at the center reduces the state autonomy. We have seen how we are aspiring to become IAS officers and IPS officers. These are even though all India services, but Ministry of Personnel and Training and Ministry of Home Affairs, central government. So ultimately, the authority rests with the central. So over centralization. Now, this is the officer level challenges. This is the officer level challenges. Officer level, what are the challenges? The vacancies shortcomings. See, the example of UPSC announced only 219 vacancies. The lowest recent. See, this is the example. With fact, we are explaining this thing. Yes, there are vacancies, but requirement is very slow. Even the requirement is up to date, but they're very slow. Just this much vacancies. With right point, we have sent the outdated office infrastructure and digitalization gap. Many offices still reveal. This is the example. Parliamentary committee noted that only 52% of the government built offices are fully functional e-office. We are talking about the digital India mission, everything, but still 52% of government offices are just e-governance, remaining 48%. Can you imagine the digital India mission launched in 2014, still 11 years, after 11 years, this much, but progress is there, 52% progress is there, but still issues are there. So these are the officer level challenges, office level challenges. Okay, done. Now implementation level challenges. What are the issues of implementing the whole of government approach? At implementation, weak oversight accountability. Okay, Kerala State Security Commission remained inactive for over a decade despite the Supreme Court's order. The corruption policy delays. These are the examples with these are the points, and with examples problem, this will make your answer very comprehensive and very thoroughly. Okay, so these are the points. Now come to what exactly ways and means. As ways and means in the sense that how we can promote one government approach by addressing the all the challenges. What are the challenges? Integrated digital governance platform. I got the Jam Trinity. This is a best example. This has revolutionized India's digital landscape. Okay, this Jam Trinity is become a transforming, and this is a phase. If you go to the any village of India, from the Arunachal Pradesh to Kanyakumari, and from Kanyakumari to Jammu Kashmir, people are talking about the Aadhaar, then the DBT. This is an awesome project of government of India, and that's a transform the development and change the face of government. Okay, now government is seen as a welfare government. Okay, now see the breaking departmental silos. This is one of the second ARC NDMA guidelines, the capacity building, the rule-based order. These are the recommendations. They are the you can go through this PDF. Rule-based order, bureaucracy, then unified service delivery mechanism, the strength in the accountability evolution, decentralization, and local empowerment. Because Kerala government, see, in this we should not forget that we should strengthen our Panchayat Raj institutions because they are the front runners of the government. If you see the first responder of any calamity during the any calamity or any issue, that is the local government or Panchayat Raj or urban local bodies. So we should strengthen them, and during Mission Karma Yogi, in Mission Karma Yogi, we can give training to the Panchayat Raj officers also, not only to the central government officers. Okay, so this is one of the way forward to build the content. Okay, now leveraging the technology, and we know Odisha government recently joined this AI policy. Even Maharashtra government have launched their AI policy and AI training to their officers. So this should not be restricted to the state level or center level class 2 class 3 officer. It should be penetrated in the PRI officers also, because they also need such kind of training, and that will help, that will boost whole of government approach. Whole of government approach doesn't mean the only interministerial cooperation, but it means that the cooperation between union government, state government, and PRIs local government. Okay, cooperation, cooperation, collaboration, and transformation. This should be the mantra, and this will happen through whole of government approach. We are aspiring to become a developed country by 2047. So whole of government approach is a vehicle for this whole developed India. Okay, now this is the conclusion. Can you imagine this is a governance of India more the coordinated approach centric the however. This is prelims question. They be why I have taken this prelims civil services, because most of the times in governance means they will ask the how mission karma. Even the 2024 they ask in GS4. We generally study mission karma yogi whole of government approach in GS2, but UPSC is very clever. UPSC had asked this question in mission karma yogi, how is changing the attitude of the officers in GS4. So even this whole of government approach is not only limited to the government. I would say whole of study, one study and whole of study approach we should inculcate in the all our 4 GS including the optional. Don't study in the cellos. GS1, GS2 and GS3 along with GS4. First one is essay. We as an aspirant implement this approach as a whole study approach. Okay, getting this whole government is there. First we should be whole study, then we will become whole government approach. So this approach can work in our domain also. So UPSC asked in 2024 question in mains GS4 paper on mission karma yogi. Okay, but UPSC had asked question in the past on origin of the civil services and the role of civil services in the prelim. So I have taken this. Okay, prelims question. With reference to the civil services of India, consider the history of civil service. The East India Company introduced the covenanted civil services in 1970 through the Regulating Act. Okay, the Government of India Act 1858 transformed the control of civil services from the East India Company. Okay, this exam were initially conducted only in London. See, initially only in London. How many of the given statement are correct? East India Company introduced convented civil services in 19 through Regulating Act. If you remember, there was one act in 1773, and that act was this kind of the civil service reform came during the Lord Cornwallis 1793. But initial phase, this was kind of the civil services introduced in India in this manner was the this act. So the statement is correct. Now, the Government of India Act transferred. This is obviously we all know Good Governance Act of 1858, post 1857 revolt, the first war of independence. This was the transferred from the administration itself, transferred from the East India Company to the British monarch. So this is also statement. Indian civil service exams were initially conducted only in London. See, if you see the only, but the point is initially, and this was in 1920. Okay, this was very big issue. This was one major demand accepted by the Britishers in 1990 Act, and they set up so-called Federal Public Commission. Okay, now we call as UPSC. This UPSC is born in Government of India Act 1990. We should aware about this thing. So in 2022, that things were transformed into like simultaneously conducting of the exam from the India also, in India and London also. Okay, this was the, so this statement is also correct. Initially they are not talking completely, they are not talking the during the British era to 200 years they conducted exam only in the London. No, that was not the case. In 1922 even simultaneously exam was conducted in India and in London. Okay, so all this All these three statements are correct. Now come to the mains question. What is the mains question? The whole of government approach is essential for building a coherent, citizen-centric and efficient governance. First, how to write? Define with whole of government approach. Then in body part, what you can do? Approach is essential for building coherent. Give example. Union, state plus then you can do interministerial, interdepartmental, coherence. Three type. Then you can citizen centric. Mention some policy, road, water, shelter. Okay, you will be able to generate many points, even communication, connectivity, and give one example how road can be built up. Then and efficient governance. Efficient means prompt delivery, jam trinity you can mention, PDS system you can mention. Then you more or efficient than the reduction of means elimination corruption, DBT, and finally conclude that okay, this is the thing, and we can mention there are certain issues, small in 3-4 issues you can mention the issues, what are the issues, and give way forward, and finally conclude your answer. This question will come at level 250 words, 15 marks. So this is approach for this question, mains question, and try to practice this question by your own, so you will get how to generate idea to how to generate the points. Okay, so overall we have studied. Okay, we have studied whole of government approach, what is it, how mission karma yogi helping to build a whole of government approach, their challenges and way forward. This is for mains, and prelims we have discussed the some questions, origin and everything. So overall these are the two topics we have discussed. Today's current affair, tomorrow there will be the economic session, economic current affair we will discuss similar way 2 to 3 topics I will try to inculcate. And one more point I just want to finally want to say you, we have launched the very good Sankalp Sarthi mentorship programming, and personally under the Huma ma'am's guidance, executing authority Nishan sir, we have launched the Sankalp Sarthi mentorship programming. Okay, and this mentorship programming is based on this whole of study approach. Whole of study approach. We are not segregating the for the prelims for the mains. This program, this Sankalp Sarthi include 7 revisions till 20th May 2026. So you will get comprehensive idea what exactly this program is, and the 7 revisions. Remaining 15 weeks we have divided into 15 weeks till 20th of December. You will get 2 revisions, of one for the prelims, one for the mains, simultaneously answer writing. Any doubt, one particular dedicated mentor is there. We are providing the procedure and the very comprehensive holistic procedure we are providing to. There are many students around and seats are limited, so I'm asking all of you, if anyone is interested, want to do their best in 2026 prelims mains and want to get their name in the final list, they can join this Sankalp Sarthi mentorship, because at the end of the day what matters is third party analysis of your studies. If no one is analyzing your studies, and mentorship is different from what exactly we study. Study is different. Mentorship comes with responsibility, comes with support, not only mental, emotional support. And in studies, we need someone who will take care of our support system and our feelings. Sometimes student morning only I saw 2 3 students, they were feeling very low and not able to wake up on time. Regret will be there, but procrastination will come, everything will come. We are here in the Plutus IAS, are here to help you, all of you, those who want, even those who don't want to, what exactly this, how this programming works, they can join this programming for the on the trial basis. They can contact on the means given number on the Plutus IAS, and everything details of this programming has attached with the link given below this lecture. Okay, you can go through this lectures topic, link is also given below in the video. So my point is this: don't waste your time, study well. We will once again come tomorrow at sharp this given time, and we will study similar economics topic. Okay, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.